live, we're live, we're live. Yes, we're live again. This is so awesome. Yes, it's Monday morning and we have Tim with us again.
Hello,
If it
everyone.
wasn't for Tim, I would not be online because he keeps me going. And we have Kelley in the house today. I'm so excited about Kelley because she is so freaking awesome. And we will have my hubby Roy popping in and out behind me because I live on a boat. And so today we're going to be talking about why customer education is key even in e-commerce. And we're going to specifically talk about authors since I'm an author, hello. And since I'm the
Hello.
Shopify queen and an author, right? Yes. And so really, really have had an absolutely smashing experience with publishing my book and being an author and writing. It is very exciting. But there are just a couple of things that we're going to talk about today that authors don't tend to do or concentrate on. And Kelley is very experienced in this. Kelley, you introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. My name's Kelley Tenny. I am a curriculum creator and course strategist. I actually come from many, many years in education. I still teach at the university level, and I have a master's in curriculum and instruction. And my very quick story to what brought me to meeting amazing people like Tim and Veronica is that after leaving education to look for something more in the entrepreneurial space, I realized that a lot of the online courses and things that entrepreneurs were creating were not up to par in terms of what we know works when it comes to education. And so I've decided to bring my expertise from the educational world to help amazing entrepreneurs and experts actually create online courses that are effective so that their students can be successful. So one of the things that's super exciting and that I love doing is I love helping authors create these online courses, because whether or not you know this, authors have the easiest transition to move from what they've written in their book to putting something online. So I'm excited to be here today because I know authors aren't that typical audience that we often see when it comes to talking about course creation and online courses.
Exactly. I mean, all they're thinking about is, hey, I've got a book, I've got to get it out there, and I've got to sell. It's a product, right? It's a, and they are part of the e-commerce world because they are selling a product. That's what I keep stressing: is you have a book, it's a product, and you have to sell it. And so in e-commerce as well is educating your customer about your product, whether you are an author or not, is super, super essential. And I find that most e-commerce owners, entrepreneurs, do not have videos to show their clients how to use their products. They just don't want to be in front of a camera, or they're too shy, or they don't know what to do, and just the basics. And so if you think about courses, think about, what do you call them, Kelley? Micro courses, right?
Micro courses, yes, and micro teaching.
Micro teaching. This is, and so, yeah, I think actually we should dump the word course and we'll call it teaching. You're teaching your customers how to use your products, or what's in your product, and what can they expect when they use your product. So as an author is, what can they expect when they read your book, right? So just that little bit, and that's how to be different to everybody else out there, because they are literally not doing it. Hey, Gabe's here today, and we've got Toya Glenn. This is amazing, Toya. Yes, and Katie's here as well, our Amazon Amazon expert. She's amazing, and so I'm so happy to have you, everybody. Oh wow, look at that. So Kelley, tell us more about micro teaching. I like that word.
Yes. So, here's the thing, and this is where I think the conversation is shifting for 2022. If you look at all of the patterns when it comes to content and video, everything is becoming shorter, right? So we've got things like Instagram Reels, we have YouTube Shorts, we have Facebook Stories, we have TikTok. So we currently are living in a space where the content that is being produced and the content that people are consuming are way shorter than the old 1-2 hour live videos. And this is where I think it becomes perfect for authors, is that, when we're looking at what kind of content we can produce, what kind of education authors want to teach or are looking to teach when it comes to their book, if we really take a step back and think about how can we give this in a different format to your ideal clients in a way that's short and bite-sized,
Yes.
mini courses or micro teaching is a really great way to give people a taste of that expertise and that knowledge that you have as an author. And, one of the things I think when we look at the traditional marketing for authors, it's you write your book, you become an Amazon bestseller, and you do the book signings and you do some of those things that we traditionally see. But, when you think about a funnel, right, a sales funnel, if you're selling something, you need a sales funnel, and an author is no different. And so, a micro teachings, mini lessons, mini courses are the perfect way to get people to be introduced to the problem, right? Become aware of the problem that you're teaching in your book, and slowly bring them into your space to where they eventually say, okay, I need to read that book. Through this micro teaching, I realize I do have a problem with the way my Shopify is set up. And now I need to purchase Veronica's book so that I can get all of the information that I need.
And so I'm also thinking now, we've got a mutual friend, Miss Tara Kelley, and she's a romance author. So if you're thinking about, and I've come to know the word genre, if you're in the romance or whatever genre, then you can literally teach or show your readers and introduce them to their characters or the different characters, right? Talk about the characters and how you develop the character and give them a little bit behind the scenes. I think most people don't think outside the box, right? So I'm an author and I'm a romance writer. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I just, and so how am I going to do something different to bring my customers into what I'm doing? And I would love to know how my favorite authors develop a character, for instance. How did you get onto this really evil guy who's going to chase us down the basement? Don't go down the basement. So and what I found was, if as you're an author, you have a author page, right? I've got an author page. So, and you can literally upload videos onto your author pages. So that's what your customers will see as well if they research your book, right?
Yeah, Tara and I actually, we just had a conversation about this, and I came to her and I said, hey, I had an idea in the shower, which is where all of our good ideas happen, right? I said, I had an idea this morning in the shower, because she is a fictional author. And I said, what are your thoughts about actually creating a mini course that is taught by the heroine of your book, or the main character of your romance novel? And if we'll just take romance novels for a minute, right? When you think about a romance novel, the main character always learns lessons. I mean, that's just part of everybody's story. If you've ever had life experiences, all of you have a lesson that you can teach. And so a fictional character is no different. And so, if you have a character that's learned how to find her soulmate, what great, how much fun would it be to have that character teach a micro course about finding true love, or about knowing yourself in order to call in your soulmate. And, if you look at like Harry Potter, right, if you think about all of the following that people develop around certain characters of books, especially people who are writing series, it's also a great way to keep your readers engaged with the character in between books, and just to build this extreme following of interacting with the character outside of of the novels that people are writing. So I think it definitely holds true whether you're a nonfiction or fictional
I
author.
know, right? And yeah, it's this Jeffrey, don't know what his last name is, but he's got this amazing nonfiction book where he teaches, for instance, I'm going to buy a book for my mom, and she's going to write down her memories. So he's got these questions he asks in the book of what the memories that they need to remember and write down, so he can do little micro videos on each of these questions and help them through answering that particular question, right? I'm just thinking about people that I've met, or the one lady has, and they're both very successful, by the way, but they have, and it's just thinking outside the box, because here's the thing is, Shopify, I keep getting back to Shopify. Amazon pays you only in 90 days. So you sell a book today, you only get paid in 90 days, right? So you got to think about ways of, and this is what we were talking about in this one authors group, is ways of how to earn some extra money or something different, or bringing your customers back to you, and getting paid faster. So having those micro courses that you can put 1 or 2 out and then start charging them, saying, hey, we're in this Facebook group and we're going to be learning about life lessons that I have in my book. I'm just coming up with some stuff, right?
Sure.
So, and hey, let's go and have some fun, get to know me, get to know my characters, and also get to know things that are going to be happening in the next book. Wow.
Yeah, it's such a good way to keep people engaged in your knowledge and expertise in between books. Obviously, you don't write a book a week, right? And so, it's a really
you don't even
great
write
way.
it in 30 days.
Right.
Although some people say you could write it in 30 days, you've got to be absolutely freaking amazing.
I would certainly, I'm going to imagine, for the most part, there is a year plus in between your books. And,
yes.
It's a great way to generate revenue in between your books. It's a great way to keep your audience engaged and learning. It's a great way to move them from the awareness of your first book into what you're going to be talking about into your second book. And, it really just allows you to continue to give them value so that there's no lull in between the books that are actually coming out. And, most people, when they hear online course, they go, oh no, it's too hard and it's too overwhelming. But when we're talking about this new format and, micro teachings and mini courses, it really takes away that overwhelm of having to develop a 12-week course that people are going to need to be involved in. We're talking about maybe 10 5-minute lessons.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm helping somebody, actually, this is the only book I'm going to launch for somebody else. I'm just helping him get his book on KDP Amazon. And he is writing a financial book. And I've got to be honest, I haven't read the book yet, but I will when I've got it up. But he's had so much experience in the financial world. So he's got so much knowledge, and he can take every single secret that he has in this book and talk about it, right? Instead of just having the book out there, and creating this little, interesting thing while the book is getting up. And Amazon is extremely slow. And we know, once we get our product or our book or something out there, we're not going to have sales as boom, it's up and we have our first sale. It doesn't happen like that. And so all that work that you're going to be putting in to get the book out, you can, in the meantime, have these little, and I've got to tell him this, actually, this is a brilliant idea. Got to tell him that, to bring out these little snippets of, hey, I'm talking about this in my book. Hey, I'm talking about this in my book. And I know the first thing he's going to say, but why, if I have all these videos, nobody's going to buy my book? Here's the secret, people. I like videos. I like reading. And I do both. I like online calendar. I like my offline calendar. People learn or listen to videos, or they might listen to you while they're driving, so they don't have to read. They don't have time to read your book. Hello. And so they will read it when they have time and they don't have anything else to do. and you giving them that opportunity to consume stuff that you're putting out without having to, and then they're interested and they go, you know what, I need this whole book because now I can put all my thoughts together, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the key. You know, the key is I'm not going to pick up a 200-page book if I'm not sure if I actually need to read the whole thing. In fact, I'll be honest, I will rarely pick up a 200-page book, even if I think potentially I need the whole thing, because, you know, who we're talking, all of you, you're running your businesses, you're writing books, you're, you know, creating products, you're busy. And so, you know, I really have to be sold on the fact that I need to read something in order to commit to take the time to read it. And what better way to convince people than through micro lessons or through a mini course? I'll watch 10 5-minute videos. You know, I'll give somebody 50 minutes of my time. And that's the chance to say, like, oh, that 50 minutes changed my view.
Yes, exactly.
I'm now going to commit to purchasing this book.
Yeah. And Amazon gives you that little first glance into the, I have actually discovered that they give a first glance into my book. I thought, oh, that's so cool. You can check what I have in my book. But they give you that first glance, but actually having you talk about it, so that first glance, bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah. You have that first glance or first hearing in the book, and if you're in front of them talking about the book, they might even fall more in love with you. So now they're going, hey, I remember her because she's been talking about the book. So maybe if she brings out another book, I need to be on task and sign up for a newsletter. So boom, you have a client who's really interested in what you're selling. And
you know, in these micro courses also, I'm going to know more about you, Veronica, and your personality and what you teach through a micro course, a lot more than I am going to learn from looking at your book cover. And, you know, if you are writing about a topic where there potentially are other people writing about the same topic, you're going to give yourself an edge over anybody who's competing with you, because now you have people that are like, oh, and I've watched her videos and I really love her personality. And now I'm connecting with her as a person. And so you become more than just one of the many book covers around e-commerce, or one of the many, you know, titles around becoming a best-selling author, or whatever it is you need to be teaching.
Exactly. Yes. Because as you said, I mean, I launched my book 2020 already, 2021, 2022, 2020. So, and suddenly this year there are like 5, or actually there are books the same title as what I have. Hello, because you can't trademark Shopify, right? And so there's competition. So you have to stay one step ahead of, okay, so what is the competition not doing, and what can I do extra to actually get the attention from people and say, hey, you know, my book is really worth reading. Those other idiots, you don't want to read their books. No. Buy my book, right? And the only way we can do this is if we stay in front of the customers. I mean, that's really the basic rule about any e-commerce product is make sure it's something that your customer wants and needs. And then the other secret is, tell them that it's around, because they're not going to know it's around unless you tell them. And also talk about it. You need to talk about what you're doing, what you're selling. And while we're talking about micro teachings is, for instance, in the skin, we were talking about skincare. I had 3 people in my workshop this morning with just specifically skincare products. And they can literally teach their customers with micro videos how to use the product, right? I mean,
and if you think about skincare, you know, obviously when it comes to marketing, especially in e-commerce, the main point is to be able to tell your audience, you have a problem and my product is going to solve that problem. Right? But if there's no education involved, I may be completely unaware that I have a problem, you know, and I'm thinking about your client, Kelley, who does skincare.
Yes.
And it's like, if I'm already using, I don't know, moisturizer,
Yes.
I'm going to need some education from Kelley to tell me why this moisturizer is not good and why
Yes.
I need to be using her products.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I'm not going to change the products that I'm using.
No,
But
exactly.
there has to be that educational piece across the board to be able to
Yes.
say,
Yes.
hey, you have a problem, then I'm going to educate you on that problem to move them from that level of, okay, now I'm aware that there's a problem and I am now looking for a solution. And you can't do that without some kind of education.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's how I started with videos. Then I wrote a book, and you know, sometimes most people do it the opposite way. But and then I looked at the competition. Goodness, there wasn't too much competition when I started. But now I have to literally put up more videos on my author page so I can show people, hey, I've got the content. I know what I'm talking about. This is, you know, the other people that have the same book, maybe a little bit less pages, don't really know as much as what I do. And the only way to show them how much I know is by actually showing the videos, putting the videos on my author page, and then turning the videos or the little micro lessons into blogs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's all about repurposing. I mean, this is why authors are the best audience for this conversation.
Yes.
It's because
exactly.
you've already written your content, right? Like the content is there. You've already written it. I mean, let's be honest. Anybody who's written a book could create a course just using the content of their book. And so it's really all about, it's repurposing, and it's about being strategic, you know, and it's recognizing, Veronica, that if you know in your next book coming out, you're going to be teaching A, B, and C, what better way to then already prime people for needing that information than creating some micro teachings and micro lessons.
Yes.
And, you know, and then taking that, like you said, and repurposing it into blogs, pulling the quotes from it and using it for your social media. You know, it's all about more content, and more content just allows everyone to repurpose and work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
And I think that's another theme that we're going to see here in 2022 is how can we work smarter and not harder and produce more content and value without having to do a lot of extra work.
Yes.
And micro teachings are the exact way to do that.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I mean, I think that as we were talking about romance or authors or whatever other authors there are, is that, I mean, they can, if you think about in the book, they're talking about so many things as well, you know, the clothing and the makeup and the whatever they're doing. And, you know, and as you said, you know, the lessons they overcome to you know, by the end fall in love and happily get married and have lots of babies, you know. So, but it is that in keeping their audiences enthralled with, hey, you know, I know this book's coming out and it sounds so amazing, and she's talking about it, and you know, Tim, you're getting good ideas about your book, right? So Tim's going to write a book as well about all his experiences with his shows on Tuesdays, right? Tuesdays or Wednesdays, about cancer,
on Tuesdays,
and surviving cancer and all that good stuff. But which is good. But yeah, so you know, it's just prompting everybody. Hey, you know, I've got this coming out. I need to talk about it. How am I going to get them engaged? And then you can, if you had, say, for instance, if you had a book coming out and you want to have pre-orders, because now you're talking about your book, you have pre-orders, you could have it on what's that thing? Oh, Shopify, right? Selling your book on Shopify. And then literally what I've already done is I've had an order from Australia on my book, on my website. I was like, whoa, somebody bought a book on my website. But so what I did is I took the order, popped it into Amazon. Amazon prints all my books, and they literally did all the shipping for me. So you don't have to have your books on just on Amazon and think, well, I'm done, you know, I don't need to do anything. I sell my books on Shopify, And if it's like international, I will literally ship them through Amazon, because Amazon, as I said, Amazon prints all my books, and boom, it's all done for me.
You said something too about, people that are waiting for your next book to come out.
Yes.
And I really think a micro course is a great way to begin to capture leads to promote your book that is coming out.
Yes.
And I'm all about strategy. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see with content creation across the board is people aren't strategic around the actual curriculum that they're putting out. For example, Veronica, why would you be talking about, I don't know, AI if your next book is on Shopify, right?
Yes.
Like you really want to be strategic around what are the things that you're trying to teach, and creating a micro course around what is coming is a great way to start bringing people into your funnel, to say, like, if you were interested in my 5-10 minute videos, you're probably going to be interested in this book that is now coming out. And it's a piece that I think is missing when you talk about marketing for authors.
Yes.
That we know works in sales. And I think it's time to realize that authors fall under that category of needing the sales funnel, needing to collect leads, needing to build their lists, create communities, right? And all of that good stuff as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest things I've heard since I've been mixing with authors and learning all this cool stuff about writing is they don't even have an email list, right? It's like well, start with 1 or 2 people. It doesn't matter how big or small your email list is, you can grow it. Or even how to send out a newsletter and saying, hey, this is coming out. Are you interested? Keep an eye on my newsletters, because I'm going to be telling you when my new book comes out. And I seriously read a lot. I read everything. I was one of those kids that read the entire encyclopedia on my parents' shelves because I was bored. And I was in boarding school, so I was bored at home waiting for things to happen. I grew up in a small town in Africa, and I literally, because it was interesting, but I read the whole, I think 12 books or 62 books? I don't know. It was just it was a super amount of books. But here's the thing, is that I find that authors do not do is keeping me informed. Hey, the new book is coming out. Even my favorite authors, right? That doesn't matter what they publish, I will buy the book. And I even know what the thing is going to, how the whole plot's going to go. It's just the sometimes even just the characters change, right? Or the problem changes a little bit. But I read whatever they put out, and they don't tell me. I'm not on their email list, right? They don't say, hey, you bought my book. In the book, you bought my book, and if you're interested, just be on my and I have signed up for newsletters. I still haven't got a newsletter from them saying, hey, my new book is coming out. I have to discover on Amazon when I look through my books and I go, hey, this book is not out yet. I have to pre-order it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they're leaving so much money on the table.
Yes.
Literally leaving so much money on the table. So I know you have to leave us early today.
I do, and I know you and I could talk all day long, so thank you for recognizing that.
Oh, seriously. I mean, I would keep telling Tim, I can blah, blah with the best of them, right? Yeah. Schmooze with the best of them. But so we've got an author group going right now, and it's an author, and we're going to teach you how to do these micro lessons and actually sell your book within Shopify to make the money ahead of the time until you get paid by Amazon. And believe me, those little monies coming in from Amazon are freaking amazing. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Ellen. That's fabulous.
Yay, I love Ellen.
I hope you learned something today. So yes, join us in our new group, and then come and check us out. And we are going to be adding more stuff, more interesting stuff in the group, because hey, we've got Kelley in the house, and she's going to make sure.
We are going to micro teach the world this year.
I know, right? And make sure that everybody has a decent strategic plan for getting their books out and for getting it on Shopify and for selling, right? You need to sell. That's where we make money.
Yes.
This has been
Amazing.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for popping in. We really, really, really appreciate it. And you are going to be on again, I know. We have nobody booked for next week, but the week after we do have Anita Wong in the house. And we're going to be talking about the new things on YouTube and Instagram.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Yes.
I know, right? You've been very silent this time, Tim. You've had
Well,
two ladies.
I've been soaking in all the information. Such great information.
Thank
know,
you.
right? I mean, she is amazing. Kelly, you are amazing, and you certainly have all the knowledge of teaching and exactly what you do. That's what I've really, really appreciated from you all these years. And you put my course together, by the way, lady.
I did. I did.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So if you need to go, that you can hop off, no problem.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kelly.
So that was fabulous, right? And we have Mahabi Roy.
It was fabulous. Shall we wrap up the show?
I think so. This is Kelly said, hey, people not watching long shows anymore.
That's right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Ellen and Gabe and Maria and Stefan and
Katie popped in.
And Katie, all of you, whether you're live or on the replay, we appreciate you all so much for being with us. Yes. And the link for that author group is in the comments. So make sure
please come and join us. We're going to have so much fun. And I tell you something, Kelly has got so much knowledge about courses. She is really, really is amazing. What's hubby Roy cleaning today? He is not cleaning. He's actually he's stuffing things in holes because we are getting a new hatch, and those spaces have to be. He's got stuff that he's putting in the spaces, which, you know what you put in cracks in a house? What's that stuff?
I have no idea.
Come on. So that's what
Stefan, do you know?
Stefan,
you have to know Stefan.
Right?
So, Stefan's always cleaning. Yeah,
so he's actually putting and making sure that it is waterproof, our hatch, because it was leaking. Oh, that's why I spackles for the ceiling. But that's why I lost my iPad, because we had leaking into the hatch onto the shelf, and it drowned my iPad.
Oh my goodness.
So I told my hubby Royce, he says, how much? I'll buy you a new one. How much is it? He says,
caulk?
Caulk, yes, caulk. Katie, you see?
Crazy glue?
No crazy glue. No crazy glue. Yeah, that would be. We actually tried it. It doesn't work. Not in big gaps.
Gorilla glue.
We use
any other guesses?
Any other guesses, right? So yes. Anyway, this was awesome. I hope everybody has. Listen to Kelly. She is also launching a new business, which is teaching these micro courses, and we'll tell you more about it in the group. And if she comes on again, I'll make sure that we have all the links that she needs. If you want to get in touch with her, pop into the group.
Yes, pop into the group. For sure.
Okay, brilliant. I love it. Right. Teacher brilliance. I love that, right?
Yes.
Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye. Have a great week.